What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another live stream. I'll get started in just a second. This will be about the goal of mimicking tactics. These things are just based off observation, things like that. Observation and seeing what I've been through as far as you know the the fake coughing, which I never really fell for. The like the things that they'll do, like scratching their nose and stuff like that. So I'm about to get into it in just a second. Before I start, I would like to say that a lot of technical tests are $400 plus, and that I'm not a part of any organization. I don't know any other targeted individuals. I'm not watching y'all in your house, listening to y'all. I don't know y'all. Nobody's telling me to get on here and do this. Just doing this because I'm a targeted individual, and I see problems within binge watching and stuff like that. So this is a channel that you can come to and listen to. It's not a channel I'm trying to grow. I'm not trying to actually do anything with any channel um, besides just help. This is not a channel I'll be growing. I won't be trying to gain multiple subscribers. It's just to pretty much keep targeted individuals safe because you won. You win. So this is a channel that you can come to and listen to and things like that. But yeah, before I start, as a targeted individual being gang stalk, organized harassment, you won. You won. We win. We win. This isn't done, and I can tell you that from this isn't done anywhere, and I can tell you that from traveling to multiple cities. I've been to over almost every state besides the West Coast. It follows you everywhere, and that's pretty much what it does. It follows you everywhere, and once you're able to travel, you see it following you everywhere. The same tactics following you everywhere. People acting like they know you everywhere through subliminals and indirects, never actually saying that they do know you. So it happens pretty much everywhere. I mean, not pretty much everywhere. It happens everywhere. At least in the United States, I'm pretty sure there's a program out in other countries for their stuff. But let me get to the live stream. This live stream is going to be about mimicry. Not even mimicry. Just the things that they do. The mimicry of a targeted individual. About you mimicking them back. So when they fake cough and you cough back, hand signals and you do them back, it only creates and I'm reading from my YouTube post, it only creates a visual mental illness in yourself. Mental illness in yourself, visual mental illness in yourself. When I say that, I'm not saying feel paranoid because people are watching you through some type of technology, because they're not anyone important. At least they're watching you mimic people back. No, they're not anyone important, at least. But the people that's around you can see it. But a visual meaning you might appear as being mentally ill without actually being mentally ill, because it creates a mental illness within yourself. It's also only going to cause you anger when you do these things back, like coughing back when somebody cough. You notice a obvious fake cough. Like, it's only going to make you angrier. It's only going to get you in your house, um, ranting about it, talking to yourself. It's only going to make you angrier, and that's the goal. That's why I named this video "The Goal of Mimicking Tactics." They want you to do it back. They want you to fight them back, but we won because they are doing this to us. This isn't done to people. This is not that you can't. Well, yeah, in history, there's a set song and stuff like that. But I mean, this isn't done to people. As in, this is not. This is a hateful method. It's not. It's hate. The gang stalking is very hateful. I just really realized that it's extremely hateful. This is for hate. Everybody has done something in their life, and we're not talking about involving crime. Everybody has. It's not because you did something. It's not this and that. No, this is a hate program, and it's sick. It's hateful. It's hateful. So I'm not gonna keep going on that. But um, yeah, back to reading what I posted. It's only going to cause you anger, even in a isolated situation. An isolated situation means you might go home and rant to yourself. Also, fighting indirects with indirects, something I used to do. When somebody had an indirect conversation in front of me, I never really got into oh yeah, they scratched their nose, I'm gonna scratch my nose back. They cough, I'm gonna fake cough back. Um, they do this, I'm gonna do that back. You know, but I did get into the indirect conversation fight. You know how somebody else is having a conversation in front of you, and it seems something about your life. I got into that, not literally fight, but like yeah, I got into an indirect back fight, like throwing indirects back. It was somebody in McDonald's, and they were talking about something. And they said something, right? They said something. This was like years ago. This was like 2020. They said something, and what I did, right, just to get them back, right, just to get them back. What I did was, I I went outside. No. I think I had my phone on me, so I pretended like I was on the phone to like and acted like I was on the phone. This for real. Like I acted like I was on the phone, and just to get the indirects back in, like just to jab back, like just to fight back. This is something that you shouldn't do. It's actually something, everything that they do is something you should ignore because we won. But they're following you around the country, harassing you, and then try to use you moving everywhere for and give it a reason. Like I'm not even moving everywhere because of gang stalking. I'm not even moving everywhere because of gang stalking. I'm moving everywhere because I'm going to my situation. I'm going from shelter to shelter. Most of them only allow you to stay there 3 months, and they only have like one or two in every state. So I'm going from pretty much shelter to shelter every state because this system wants to attack me. I'm going to use my resources that I have and my knowledge. I'm going to use my knowledge and resources and logistics that I have, and I'm going to evade paying rent until I fully can. In an apartment, since the system decides to attack me because of my characteristics, things that I have no control over of myself, you know. But back to what I was saying. Also, just fighting indirects with indirects, like I just said. Like I said, I was on. Somebody said somebody was having a conversation in front of me. Like three people was having a conversation, and it sounded like they were, just throwing shots at me, and I didn't know them. So what I did was I grabbed my phone and acted like I was on the phone and did the same thing, and it only made me angry. You know what I'm saying? Like they're losing. You remember back in the day where certain people would be doing certain type of protest, right? they would always be walking with their head high, with everything just going toward them. People were throwing piss on them, whether it's a protest out of the country, in this country. People were throwing piss on them. But they always held their head high and didn't do anything. That made them even more mad, and that's not the goal. You're not trying to make anyone mad, but you just ignore any possibility of you being angry at people for what they do. That's what I'm telling you. That's how you win. Once they see you're mad, it's over for you. So don't do these things back. Meaning don't mimic the gang stalkers. Don't mimic gang stalkers back. It's only going to make you angry. It's a scientific method. Think about it. You gotta do that to if 500 people cough, if 500 people cough in that day and it's just you walk past 500 people and they cough and fake cough, you're gonna fake cough past 500 people. That's going to like really get you angry. So pretty much just ignoring it. Like they're doing that stuff to you. They're doing that stuff to you. Like they're tracking you around doing this stuff. Like, come on, you gotta be a little smarter than that. Like, just ignore it. Like, completely ignore it. You gotta be a little bit smarter than that. You gotta just be a little tad bit smarter than that. They're following you around doing that stuff. They're following you around doing that. You're not following them around. They're following you around. Okay? So, um, fighting indirects with indirects is only going to make you more angry and appear ignorant. They're already the losers. You feel what I'm saying? Like they already lost, bro. Like they're already the losers. So you just pretty much ignore it. I can go to thousands of targeted, and I'm reading from my YouTube post, but I can go to thousands of targeted individuals' videos in public, and they seem to be subliminally, verbally violent to people that haven't said a word to them. Subliminally, verbally violent to people that haven't said a word to you. They might have scratched their nose, or some of them people say they use hand signals like putting their middle finger up. They probably do that to me. It's just something that I don't care for because it's subliminal. What I did care for that was in subliminal was the indirect conversations because it was very uncomfortable until I identified citizen informants as that being what it is. I identified citizen informants as far as me, going to like like thinking that it was something else for like since 2018. I was thinking that it was something else. But once I identified them as citizen informants, everything changed. It was only and that's the only thing that you can pretty much put it to. They're citizen informants. There's no secret society. There is no such thing as a secret society. There's a secret society. The police is involved with it. The police can't. They cannot. You think they can have secrets? Like they can't. They cannot have something being secret out here. You know what I'm saying? So let's think with logic and not intelligence. Let's think with logic and not intelligence. But I can go to that. But once I identified them as citizen informants, after since 2018, it's 2026 now. I identified perpetrators on the street as citizens informants around 2024. I identified them as citizen informants. I was way more knowledgeable about stuff then, but I just didn't understand who was doing this stuff. But identified purpose is citizen informants, um, in, yeah, around 2024, 2023, 2024. I identified purpose as citizen informants. When I was identifying them since 2018 to 2023, I was identifying them as a some type of cool cult that I'm not a part of. So once 2024 hit, I was just like happy. These are informed. Oh, this the police doing this. Oh, I stopped caring. I stopped caring then. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking this is a cool club that I'm not a part of. But no, they sending around citizen informants, and they come in all shapes and sizes, everything. They come in. They might look like somebody from the hood, you know. But yeah. So I can go to thousands of targets videos in public, and they seem to be subliminally, verbally violent to people that haven't said a word to them. Probably just scratch their nose or something, move the fingers to symbolize "fu" or whatever hand signal that they do, and the target does it back. Stop responding to it. As simple as that. Because if you, I'm reading from my post, because if you punch somebody out, if you punch somebody out because they scratch their nose in the court of law, you will be fully held accountable. If you punch somebody out because they scratch their nose in the court of law, you'll be fully held accountable. No matter how much you explain gang stalking when it comes to that. You feel what I'm saying? No matter how much you explain gang stalking, if you do that, like, they will hold you accountable for that. But it's not just justified. It's not justified like somebody punching you and you punching them back. They'll call you mentally ill. Even I'll call you mentally ill because you shouldn't be that mentally weak, even though they are doing it on purpose. Imagine busting a car window out because it's red or blue, you know. And I'm reading from my post. It's probably why I sound like that, but I just I speak on I speak on my post, like, as I go through them. Like, I speak on the things that I say afterwards. But yeah, most targets. These are things that you really, really should ignore, like, because it's inevitable to kind of see colors, like blue or red. You know, one headlight. That stuff I've never let bother me. I don't even pay attention to it. It's kind of retarded. It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't say anything. You know, like, it's these things that I just don't care for. Um, I don't, and I also don't accept red or blue cars as evidence. I don't accept red or blue cars as there being evidence of being targeted. And I actually don't look for that. But when people call it out in their videos, that doesn't mean you're a target. It just doesn't mean you're a target. But I don't look for that. I don't look for evidence. It just depends on what you're talking about. It depends on the calming information that you're giving to help people, and that's it. Um, right? It depends on that. The correct information that you're giving, the common information that you're giving that obviously would help people, like telling people not to mimic people back when they do things. It's a scientific method. They want you to do it back. You go home, you the one angry. They don't even know what they really just did. They scratched their nose. Probably somebody told them to do it, but they don't even know the damage that they're causing. They don't know. Just like citizens aren't involved in the surveillance, but I'm not about to talk about that. I say that all the time, but yeah, just like citizens aren't involved in the surveillance aspect of gang stalking, meaning the hidden cameras in your house, impossible. Um, they might do these things on purpose. The red or the blue cars, they might do these things on purpose, but the system is doing it. They will never come clean about it. Nobody has the funds but them. Nobody has the funds but them. Law enforcement, all of the, GOV, nobody has the funds but them. Guess who's doing it? So once I seen these citizens doing this stuff, I couldn't understand. I thought it was a secret society for since 2018. I thought it was a secret society. 2024, I identified them as citizen informers, regardless of what they think they are, because that is a terrible name. But regardless of what they think they are, I identified them as citizen informers by the things that it was causing me. You know, so they're jealous of your isolation ability. And when I mean isolation ability, I mean permanent isolation ability. Meaning you're not isolating because you don't have any money and you're just trying to get yourself together so you can have some money to be around people. Isolation is a lifestyle for targets. You can become rich and still stay away from people. Isolation does not include having a significant other or your children. It means staying away from parties, clubs, friends, crowds, regardless of your financial status. They're jealous of that. You know, the isolation ability, the permanent isolation ability. Permanent isolation ability. I used to respond to things I seen people do. Well, I used to do indirect with indirect. I just said that. Let me skip over that. So this is my post that I'm reading from. I never cared for a cough, hand signal, cars, or shirt colors, one headlights. I've never cared. Odd things to care for? I mean, really odd things to care for. Sirens odd. Sirens at odd times got to me. That's how mine kind of started. Things like that. But those things are when they got you. When they got you caring about things the colors that you probably got on. They got your mental. They got you caring about the colors that you possibly got on. The colors that you possibly looking at right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like I have no choice but to see red or blue right now. I'm looking at I'm on StreamYard. And I get what y'all saying. You saying, oh yeah, they coming around me with these certain colors on, but still, like they doing that on purpose, right? But still, like I never cared for it. Like I just never cared for that. Like it's like that's just real odd to me. It's just real odd. Those are weird, real odd caring aspects. Now when they financially sabotaging you, stuff like that, and you notice that stuff on purpose. Like I notice financial sabotage, like 'cause somebody come, like how y'all notice somebody coming around y'all with blue and red. Like I said, I just got another story, which I don't like doing, but I was just at a job that I worked at multiple times. I'm not gonna say the job. I was at a job that I worked at multiple times. So I get hired. It's a fast food. I got hired. This was around last year, April. I got hired, or May, but I got hired at the job. I worked there 2 weeks, and then they just randomly fired me from fast food. The job that the job that you get at 15, fast food. They just fired me, and then I got in an argument with them like the I usually don't, but it was just odd. It was just odd. Like it was just odd. I was just doing everything correct. Uh, you know, of course, because I worked at the job since high school. This was last year. I'm 27. This was last year that they did that. They just fired me out of nowhere. I worked at that job since high school, and I got in an argument. A small argument with them, not nothing serious or anything like that. But I got in a small argument with them, and just left. But yeah, they just randomly fired me. I was like, dang, like that's messed up. But It was just a random fire. Like that was last year, April. Just random, like just random stuff. And I'm saying this as a completely calm person. That was random. Like it was when I say it was random, I'm talking about like they really do not want you financially stable. They don't want that for some reason. So that's why I tell y'all to just completely focus on that in all aspects. You know, if you can get in a situation not paying rent, that's the best situation. Especially if you got your own car or you in a shelter or something, you in the best situation. Get money like that, keep doing that because that's what I'm doing. I ain't giving nobody else that idea. But anyway, yeah, your permanent isolation ability can make them extremely jealous. You know, because I mean, you ain't out at nighttime where they can shoot at you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't at them parties. I know I went through all this already. I said that I gotta be repetitive sometime, but it's just so much beneficial when you're not perishing for lack of knowledge. Like you ain't out at nighttime at the parties doing this and that. They don't like that. That's why they don't like that. Because you control when you whether you breathing or not at times. You know what I'm saying? So they don't like that. Your permanent isolation ability, they don't like. But let me go to the next thing. But yeah, when you worried about car colors and shirt colors and the colors of people wearing, and I would say one headlights. That fake coughing is kind of ignoring, but annoying. I mean, I said ignoring, but yeah, that fake coughing is kind of annoying. But you gotta really, you know, ignore these type of things. You gotta really ignore these type of things. Understand you're dealing with alphabet agencies instead. These tactics are of alphabet agencies, bruh. Point blank, period. You feel what I'm saying? You get mad at car colors and stuff like that. That's alphabet agency stuff, bro. With citizens that come from some type of connection with them, whether it be direct or indirect connection. You're dealing with an alphabet agency. These are alphabet agency tactics, bro. So you have to understand these things. Like you have to you getting angry, you ain't even speaking to nobody. I'm targeted, bro. I state to myself all the time. I get angry. I don't even be speaking to nobody, but I quickly just get back to normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like for real. That logical conclusion took me from caring. I was like, wow. So they working for alphabet agencies. This is what I quoted. Wow. This is basically my mindset. I quoted. I was like, wow, LOL. So they working for alphabet agencies. Well, of course, they're playing psychological games on the road and have people snapping out over vehicle colors, shirt colors, and one headlights. They also have the funding to be giving out these vehicles, dispatching these citizens with indirect conversation scripts, doing psychological scientific things, got you verbally responding to somebody scratching their nose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I stopped caring. Those are literally tactics of alphabet agencies. Through the scientific method, through me just, you know, understanding how these things work, what it was making me do, what the things they were doing was making me do. For an example, how I came up with a scientific method, right? By them using citizens to do indirected conversations in front of me about things that I just said when I walked out of my house or got out of my car or something like that, I knew that the scientific method was to get me to talk to myself all the time. Um, I know the scientific method was to get me to talk to myself all the time, and Yeah, that was a scientific method for that. Using citizens, dispatching citizens to act as if they're listening to me in my privacy. So I talk to myself thinking that I'm talking to the citizens. That was a scientific method. Never got anywhere. It can't. What am I going to say that they're going to use besides talents? So yeah, I guess they thought they would get something from me. Like, I don't even know how they think they can like get me to talk about some people that I know or something like that, or situations that I know,